Hello, everybody, and welcome to another episode of Ask Pastor Keith. Hello, Pastor Keith.
Hi.
Today, we have a question from a parent, and
Okay.
they're asking, considering everything that's going on in public schools, they're wondering, is it too sheltering or too overprotective to put all their kids through a Christian school only?
Yeah, that's not an easy question to answer because the individual child is different. Their needs, their seasons they're going through are different. So it's very general answer I give as a pastor, not an educator or a psychologist. But as a pastor, over the years, what I've seen, and certainly the challenges are real these days, and it can do real damage as well. But generally speaking, education, the responsibility of education, especially moral education, falls onto the parent. Whether the parents send their kids to Christian school or secular school or homeschool. Finally, the parents are the ones who have to bring that into conversation and have to kind of rehash back at home. So, having said that, generally speaking, keeping the children where they will be the real world case or test is the best, I would say. Meaning secular school with the challenges and all that is the best solution. And so that we can talk about it at home and we are more vigilant, we are more aware of what's going on and bring that into the conversation. Having said that, there are some children who are not ready for that. They'll be more influenced directly by the world and by the peers. And those will be best served at Christian school. So Christian school, in my opinion, just because you send your child to Christian school does not mean you don't have to talk about it and it'll be all taken care of. That's not the case. We have the record, and it doesn't work out like that, unfortunately. So even if you send your children to a Christian school, you need to talk about it at home and biblically talk about it. And there are many types of Christian schools, and some are very liberally oriented, progressive, and all that. Some are very conservative, and so you need to talk about that as well. And some parents are doing homeschooling, and that I would say, depending on the needs, 1 year, maybe two, but not as all the way through, because their social need and they need to have those challenges and overcome. I'm not saying bullying is okay, but there's some degree of bullying that you need to be able to handle as a person as you go through.
Like developing thicker
Yeah,
skin.
developing thicker skin, and there's a age appropriate challenges they need to overcome, and the parent cannot overly protect that. And then when they finally go to a small private college, and then there's a lot of challenges they have never faced before. That's when they lose faith altogether, or the morally they're just unraveled altogether. So it is always good to be in a real world situation, and having to be able to come home and talk about it, and the parents giving some kind of explanation and teaching. Although I said there are some children who will not take that. They will listen to their teachers or friends, but not parents. So depending on your relationship and all that. But I would use Christian school and homeschooling as a special tool or a special team to help your child to develop in a proper way. There are some children who needs those time out into Christian schools and homeschool, and it will help them. Sometimes it's just socially they're immature. They cannot handle what's going on in public school, so they need special care like that. But generally trying to insulate them from what's going on out there morally wokeism and whatever else is going on, usually does not work in long run. So it is better to be there and talk about it, and certainly our Sunday schools are talking about it. And so those things are much better to handle rather than no information, cut them off, and there's no dialogue, and you just tell them one way, and then when they are questioned by some people, they cannot carry on a dialogue, and many times they lose the argument, and then the whole world is unraveled as a result, which is not helpful at all. Yeah. So that's the question. That's the general answer. Generally speaking, once again, there are some children who are very specific and particular, and they need those helps. But generally speaking, being in the public arena, so to speak, and going through the similar experiences, and the parents help them to process all these things, are much better setting. But some seasons in life, we cannot do that. And some particular relationship with your child is not possible. Then going through the Christian school also, the parents has to be involved and talking about that as well as the homeschooling.
So do you have any like practical advice for how a parent can be equipped to be that positive biblical influence in their child's life, whether secular school or Christian school?
I have a family time together. Have a family altar. That's what I mean. Worship, brief one, not a long one, but talk about that. And sometimes Christian schools have the curriculum that they can study at home with the parents. That kind of things. Those are helpful. Our Sunday school also had those materials ready for the parents to have a time of worship at home as well. Yeah.
Oh, that's great.
Okay.
Yeah. Thank you so much, Pastor Kid, for your insight. And thank you guys for tuning in. I hope, especially for the parents, that helps you kind of discern and navigate through how we can raise our children in the faith together. And please join us next week for another episode of Ask Pastor Keith.